Hello there, and welcome to Not Another Sci-Fi channel. My name is Vali, and this is Aegon's Conquest. Since this is a science fiction channel, and we dive deep in all sides of the genre, I think it is most appropriate today, with T-minus 24 hours to go for the kickoff of the event that has had humanity sitting on the edge of their seats and screaming at their TVs.
And so what we start to see now is a pattern in world history much like the Greeks and the Romans. Remember that there were 7 families fighting for control of the land of Westeros. The king of Westeros was who? Robert Baratheon, and he asked Eddard, also known as, of course, Lord Stark.
I am talking, of course, about the global phenomenon created by George R.R. Martin that has literally captured the imagination of the entire planet and had us begrudgingly waiting for 2 years contemplating on the 3 biggest questions of modern times. Who will sit on the Iron Throne in the end? Who is going to die next? But most of all, if the action is happening in the medieval era of a still unnamed planet commonly referred to as the world, at a time when myth and legend are intertwined with the reality of dragons and the frozen undead walkers, audiences from around the world are baffled with the question, why the hell is everyone speaking with a British accent? Right, moving on. With tomorrow being the big day of April 14th and rumored to be declared a national holiday in Nambia, if everything goes well in the first episode that is, and if the latest shipment of Covfefe arrives in their capital, I was thinking we need a bit of a historical perspective to properly prepare for the much awaited Season 8 and maybe appreciate it just a little bit more. At the same time, I want to draw some attention at the historical mistreatment of dragons. Plus, I think my episode's timing and title are a little bit clickbaity and will help me get some views. I must say, I am not the foremost expert in the Game of Thrones universe. I have not read all the books yet, and I have not rewatched the series enough to notice all the little things in the background, like I have with Star Trek and Star Wars. So today will be a slightly less opinionated episode, and more of a, let's say, historical rendering of the events that preceded the era of knowing nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
That laid the bedrock for the current state of affairs in the Game of Thrones universe. It all began a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Wait a second, that's not it. It all began 300 years ago when Aegon the First Targaryen conquered most of Westeros together with his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, and their dragons Meraxes and Vhagar. Aegon subdued 6 of the 7 kingdoms, successfully resisted only by Dorne. Not all the continent had to be taken by conquest, as some regions and houses actively supported House Targaryen and others submitted voluntarily. Aegon's initial campaign lasted 2 years and was followed by the First Dornish War. The date of Aegon's coronation by the High Septon during the conquest has been used by maesters to track years before and after Aegon's victory. And so we have the BC, before conquest, and AC, after conquest timelines. Thus, the Red Wedding, as an example, happened in the year 300 AC, and Aegon's conquest began in the year 2 BC. Lord Aenar Targaryen had moved his family from Dragonstone after his daughter warned of an impending doom, 12 years before the doom/apocalypse destroyed Valyria. And that's how the Targaryens came to occupy the westernmost outpost of the Valyrian freehold. Aegon was born in 27 BC and had 2 sisters, Rhaenys and Visenya. And as it was the custom of the Targaryens to marry brother to sister, Aegon married both. Some believe that Aegon had never visited Westeros before his invasion, but there are reports of him having visited the Arbor and the Citadel, and possibly Lannisport. Years before the conquest, he had ordered the construction of the Painted Table, the famous table at Dragonstone that was cut into an accurate geographical map of Westeros. The 7 rulers at the time were Thorin Stark, king in the north, Ronal Arryn, king of the mountain and vale, Harrenhal, king of the isles and river, Loren the First Lannister, king of the rock, Mern the Ninth Gardener, king of the reach, Argalic Durrandon, Storm King, and Maria Martell, princess of Dorne. Aegon called his bannermen and took counsel with them and his sisters, after which he sent ravens to the rulers in the 7 kingdoms. He informed them that he would be the only king in Westeros, and that those who bent the knee would keep their lands and titles, while those who did not would be destroyed. He apparently considered all of Westeros as one land, despite the fact that the continent was long split into 7 kingdoms, and he was determined to unify it under his rule. The war began in 2 BC when Aegon Targaryen and his 2 sister wives, Rhaenys and Visenya, landed with fewer than 1,600 men at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush next to 3 hills. Upon the highest hill, Aegon started construction of Aegon Fort, a wooden moat and bailey fort, as his first claim to the mainland of Westeros. Well friends, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, it really helps out. Till next time, winter is coming. P.S. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for part 2 of this series.